All are doing well. This week we continue working on Major Assignment 2, the narrative essay about belonging. The final draft of Major Assignment 2, narrative essay, is due Thursday, October 8th on Blackboard by midnight. This is what you need to do for this week. Listen to episode 2 of Michelle Obama's podcast, Protests and the Pandemic. This podcast is free, but you have to sign up for a free Spotify account in order to listen to it. If you have an issue signing up for Spotify, let me know and I will assign you a different podcast to listen to for Major Assignment 3. Likewise, if you have a specific issue with the content of this podcast, let me know and I will assign you a different podcast to listen to for Major Assignment 3. It's important to remember as we start working on Major Assignment 3 that you do not have to agree with all the points made in this podcast. Major Assignment 3 asks you to summarize and respond by agreeing, disagreeing, or a little bit of both to key points made in this podcast. For this assignment, you are restricted to only using the information included in the podcast. We are not going to do outside research for this assignment. Discussion Forum 6 asks you to offer your first thoughts about this podcast, Protests and the Pandemic. Identify what you found most interesting and remember to reply to a classmate's thread. It's important to remember here also that although we probably won't all agree with each other, it is imperative, it is very important that we respond to each other with courtesy and civility. It is fine to disagree with people, but there's a way to disagree that's respectful and considerate. So as we are starting to read things that we may disagree with, just remember to respond, as always, in a polite and civil way. Journal 6 asks you to tell me about your final draft of Major Assignment 2. I just want to know what you struggled with, what you thought was successful. Just give me a little bit of information about it. For the final draft of Major Assignment 2, I strongly recommend you make an online appointment with a writing studio. Even if you've already made one and had one for the second draft, I think you should still make another one. It's always a good idea to use the writing studio to go over your work. You will get an extra point for each online session you have. So if you have 3 online sessions with a writing studio, as long as you give me the confirmations, I will give you 3 extra points. Also, review sentences in this draft for structure, grammar, and concision. Previously, we've really been looking more at structure in terms of essay structure and paragraph structure. Now you're going to start doing sentence level edits. These 3 links give you explanations and tips on how to do sentence level edits. It's really important also that you proofread. There should not be any overlooked errors in this essay. So these are 3 links that give you some advice on proofreading. I hope that your semester is going well. As always, please reach out to me via email with questions or to schedule an individual conference via phone, Zoom, or Blackboard Collaborate.